Hey, what's up, guys? Any of y'all that caught that live where I was doing my first tank break-in, I did say I rebuilt it. It's not a brand new buggy, but I did rebuild it. But I had an issue where I'd never had an issue. The clunk had came off inside the fuel tank. So I put it in a little over half a fuel tank to begin with. It kind of started up okay-ish, and then it just kind of running sporadically. You could tell it was drawing air. That's just because the clunk wasn't attached. So the fuel tubing was about, it was like right up here where it could draw air. The clunk was down in there. And this may have been what's caused me trouble on the day that I was trying to, where I'd switched my carburetor. And I thought it was just causing it to draw air, but just based on the carburetor not fitting, I don't think that's the case at all. I think it was this, being that whenever it got below, right about the bottom of this little fuel tube bracket, it would start drawing air, and it would run sporadic, or it would just bog because it's not even drawing in the fuel. So that's where we're at. I kind of fixed it. I'm going to order a new one because like this fuel line's thick and it fit in there. I put some super glue around it so it doesn't have any extra in it, like a little as an extra attempt to seal it. But I'm definitely going to need a new fuel tank just because let me show y'all. Hold on. So on the Miyako tank I was watching, or maybe it's a JQ, it just uses the fuel tube to come out, and that's what seals this hole. Mine had this popping out on one end and then another thing on the other end, and I couldn't get it to reconnect. So I just broke it out and ran pipe through the hole where it pretty much seals it off. With that super glue in there, after it dries, it'll definitely seal off. I cleaned it out with paint thinner, blown it out. I'm gonna open this top and kind of let it dry out now. It's definitely clean on the inside. We definitely got it it's all airtight. I want to let that super glue there dry, but so I did have to take a little double side nipple to extend the fuel. I'll probably get a fuel filter, and this will need to be cut down a little bit, but I will get this installed and we will do the next break-in tank probably tomorrow if I can find time. It is Christmas time and we are really busy. But I want to say I appreciate each and every one of y'all that tuned in. I use these to, for heat shrink or cigarettes, but I try not to smoke in my videos just so they can be child friendly. I know this ain't necessarily child content made for children, but children will be watching. So, all right, guys. So, I'm gonna get that sorted out, which I think I have, and we're gonna try another start on a first tank break-in because it really didn't get us anywhere. It wasn't drawing enough fuel to run proper. It would rev up. It just nothing was working right, and it took me a few minutes to notice, but I realized something was off. So, all right, guys, sorry about that. I should have been more prepared. I thought I was, because as far as I know, I hadn't dealt with any clunk issues, but that's likely why I couldn't get it to tune, having the clunk come off, meaning that if it's, the clunk, number one, uses the weight of it to gravitize the fuel tube to sit at the bottom of the fuel tank, so that when you get low, you're still drawing fuel. Mine was sitting about halfway up where the tube had ended, and the clunk was completely off, so it was only drawing fuel at over halfway. So yeah, guys, it was a big problem. I'll get all this sorted out eventually. Just get a new tank and some new fuel tubing, but or I could take that tank off that I know works and has a good clunk, because I did check it out. But that thing's running so good right now with that repinch on it, I'm just gonna leave that. So we'll see if this works to get it broken in, and then I'll order a new tank right after Christmas, and we'll get that installed. But all right, guys, thanks for tuning in. All y'all that tuned into my live, I certainly appreciate it. I did end up getting two more subscribers from that live, so thank you guys, and thanks for tuning in. Happy holidays. We'll see y'all in the next one. Later. Alright, guys, let me back up. We finally got it running more stable. I fixed the clunk, just temporary. I mean, I could probably run it like this, but I'm going to get a new tank. And just because I did kind of have to do some engineering, aftermarket engineering, we'll call it. If you see that, that's where the gas line comes out. I broke the piece because I couldn't get it to remove, so I broke it. And it's basically just fitted in there with a thicker piece of fuel tubing. And I've got a piece of fuel tubing covering that, and then I put super glue all around it. And it's not leaking. The pressure is fine. As you can see, it's not got the unstable idle it did in my live. It's pretty, that's how it's loading up because it is really rich. So I'm going to turn the idle up a little bit. This is how the first tank goes. I'm going to try to put some extra heat on there. Let's see what the temperature is. It's cold, so that kind of hinders the whole process. About to burn out of fuel. Final temp was 139. That ain't great. It needs more heat, but this is not a bad start. Cut it off before it runs plumb out of gas, because then it would run the cylinder. When you don't want to run your new engines out of gas, you really don't want to run any engine out of gas, because the gas or the fuel, the nitro, is what lubricates the motors. So when it runs out, you have no lubrication in there, except what's residual from the gas that's been ran. It's probably not the worst thing, but it's just recommended to not. I think I'll put a zip tie on that. I went ahead and put a zip tie on the fuel inlet there. You can see there's no leak coming from down there. I did run, that was about a half a tank I had left. I'm out of fuel now, but that one idled so much better. We're going to check, make sure this one is at the bottom dead center. I can see right there, just by moving the flywheel, it's not stuck. So this engine, it doesn't get stuck at the top like other engines I've had. I'm not sure if that's due to the fact that it's just a higher quality engine and the pinch is, more proper out the gate. Maybe I didn't see where it said it had a oil bath break-in or anything, and it's not. The tune is not set. I did turn in the top speed screw about 2 hours just to get it to run a little better, but I did that before I really needed to. But 2 hours won't make much. It's still really, really rich. Now this is a 3-needle carburetor. So after we get it broken in, where we will go from there is to, once we get it good and broken in, we'll get a box tune on it with the high-speed needle. Not really play with the low speed much or the mid speed. And then, once we get once we get, after we got it broken, you know, like 8 to 10 tanks, you know, including the figure eights, all that, you know, half throttle to full. Once we get to where we're doing full throttle passes with it in, you know, at the stock settings, then we will start to lean the high end and try to get, you know, where it's running good on the high end. So, all right, guys, look for that video, and we will be seeing you soon. Thanks. Later.